Hey y'all. Happy Friday. go, go on. Okay. This conversation is not for children. Okay, so hide and put them up. Happy Friday. I hope everyone is having a good spring break or had a great spring break. I know I did. Shout out to Biloxi, Mississippi, Gulfport, Mississippi, New Orleans, Louisiana. Yeah, we had us a good old time. Yeah. Atlanta. Or one day, I don't know, but the Atlanta part was kind of crap because um, if you go down there and you take your children to this Lego Land Discovery Center place, they don't have nothing. Anyways, I just kind of felt like I paid $106 for nothing. Like I kind of felt like I wanted to call corporate and get my money back. But that's nor here or there. We still enjoyed ourselves. Getting out on the beach, just getting a little fresh air, getting away from our everyday. It was good. It was much needed. A lot of reflection. It was all good though. It was all good. So you all be safe out there. You know, safe travels to those who are participating in the spring break or already had your spring break. You know, um, glad y'all had a good one. So this evening, this Friday, right? I usually come to y'all on a Monday, but I'm coming to y'all on a Sunday. I mean, on a Friday. Ooh, Lord, I said Sunday. On Friday, right? Ooh, Friday is ruled by Venus, right? Which is the planet of love. Okay. So, with that being said, we got us a love after lockup, love while locked up conversation to talk about. Because I was kind of inspired by personal life experiences. And a friend of mine told me, you know, you should talk about that because people go through this all the time and don't necessarily have the same level of strength or the mental capacity to handle the trickery that comes with dealing with people who are incarcerated, okay? So, a little bit about my experience airing my laundry right now. But this is how we learn, right? Um, this is how I get majority of my wisdom is because I have lived multiple lives within this one life that I'm living. So with that being said, I've acquired wisdom from experiences that I've had or from my elders and their experiences. But in this case, this is one of my own. So, I would say I was probably 22, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying not to show my hand too much, but you know, it is what it is. You know, ain't nobody married in this situation. At least I didn't end up being married, so hey, it is what it is, right? But I was a little green to dating websites, and sorry about that. A cousin of mine, one of my sister cousins, right, my first cousin, was like, girl, you should get on POF. You ain't never heard of POF? And I'm like, no, what is that? I had been in a long term relationship prior to being single. So there was a lot of things that I wasn't really doing or hadn't done because I was in a relationship for a long time um, prior to that situation. So I get on POF and I start experimenting, talking to people. POF will turn you into a hoe, okay? It will have you talking to people, turning people down, hurting feelings, doing all types of things, standing folks up. You get so much attention, or there's just a lot of flattery going on. So, um, one time, I I got a specific message and I read it, and I think I read it and I was being a smartass because I was like, well, he's attractive, and I read some of the message and then I was like, but what? And so he told me he was in prison. So I ain't say nothing. I didn't know what to say really. So he wrote me again. And he kept writing these real long paragraphs, right? So intellectual, new big words. You could tell he had a brilliant mind. Ooh, he was smart. But after that I was like, you know what? Let me just respond to him. Cause I'm not a mean person. I don't want to just ignore him. Like, he's pouring his heart out and stuff. Like, and he's good looking. Then he's saying how he about to get out in 3 months or whatever. So I wrote a message and I was being sort of a smart ass. And I was like, look, I ain't got no money for your books. I'm not trying to take care of no dude in jail. I'm not gonna get ready to be writing you no letters. We not doing none of that. I said, but however, I like you, and I gave my number. I said, call me when you get out. So, like I told y'all, I was green doing this, right? Because I found out that evening that they got phones in prison, okay? I got a text message that night from this individual that said, you really thought I was gonna wait? I was like, what? So from there, things started to develop. Now, this was my first time ever coming across a situation like this. Sometimes we expect others to be just as we are, but they are not. Them too have their own decisions to make. They have their own path to walk. And I find myself to be a very genuine person. So a lot of times, whatever I feel like I'm pouring my heart out and I'm expecting that in return, but a lot of times you don't get that in return if you're in my position. You find yourself, keeping it really honest with a person, or if you're really in love with them, you lay it all out on the line, and you find that you don't get that in return. And with this situation, I learned it, okay? Because let me tell you something. One thing about people in prison, I want to say just men, but I heard women be doing it too, is that they have time to master the art of conversation, to master communication, to master pretty much any type of scenario that could cross a person's mind. So, with that being said, from him sending that "you really thought I was gonna wait" text, things started to build from there. The conversation started, and then once you're hooked on conversation, you're like, you don't want it to stop. So, yeah, when he couldn't get to that, when he couldn't use that cell phone anymore, okay, so it turned into, I'm gonna have to put money on the phone because that's gonna be the only way I can talk to him. And as you think you're developing a relationship, okay, you care about, this person. So you will want them to eat, right? You will want them to get the things that they need. So you start putting money on their books or making sure they have commissary. These are the things you do when you care about an individual. None of this is wrong. However, it is very much so a tricky process. And let me tell you how tricky it is, how tricky it can get. So, through all this time, he was supposed to get out. This probably happened, let's see. This probably happened like September, but I think he had already been writing me for like a month or so ahead of that. He was supposed to get out that December. He ended up getting in trouble because of that phone situation, because you're not supposed to have phone in prison, obviously. So, they extended his time out until the next girl. They extended his time out until that next year, which was that next August. So instead of him getting out that December, he got out that August. So for that amount of time, all the way from the end of that September, or it might have been really October, when I started really like putting money on the phone and putting money on the books or something like that. So from that October all the way until about the end of June, we really functioned like we were in a real relationship. Okay? Now, a lot of people would be like, that in your mind? Like, how could you have thought you was in a real relationship with this man? Well, let me tell you how. Because I became a part of his family, his actual family, okay? I took a trip with his mother and step parent at that time and brother to visit his sister, and I became a part of his family to a certain degree. And when you become a part of the family, essentially that's like building a bond with them, because being around his family substituted for being around him. The only interaction that you don't get, or that I wasn't getting, was a certain level of intimacy. But as far as having a bond, having a connection, you have it with his direct bloodline, or with their direct bloodline. So yeah, we function like we were in a real relationship, because I'm not just talking to his mama on the phone and she lives miles away. You know what I'm saying? She lives up the street from me. Like, we going places every other week. We doing dinner, or she's inviting me over to her house. Like, we kicking it. And so, yeah, we functioned like we were in a real relationship. And guess what? Even his mother went to him and, said, "Are you sure? You can't play with this one right here. Are you sure?" He said yes, he was sure. Well, it it all hit the fan, because the end of June, probably it might have been the first week of July, because remember, he was getting out in August, and at this point things had built up so much. Like, I'm part of the family. His mom loves me, his grandmother loves me, the family loves me, and I love them. Like, we was family. And he literally called me and broke it off. Now, the only thing I can say that was different about my experience compared to others is that he didn't go ghost on me. He didn't stall me out. He didn't just like disappear. But when you really think you have a real relationship with someone because they mastered the art of conversation, um, conversation, the ideas, the things that they have you doing, thinking this is for y'all, but it's really gonna end up being just for you. um, it was all types of things I did. I remember even attending his sister's baby shower, and I'm writing his name on the gifts, right? Because you're functioning like you're in a relationship. But the whole time, this is how far one will go for circumstances to make sure that they are okay. And not only to say they're okay, because to a certain degree, do I think he has a little care for me in his heart? Yeah, I do. A little, an ounce maybe. Because when you're behind walls and you feel like you don't have no one else, or nobody else can hear you, or whatever the case is, and not only that, there's no other worldly interactions, it's easy to maybe fall in like or in love with a person's character or, their energy. I do think that to a certain degree, because there are no worldly, what I'm trying to say, there are no other interference, there is no other interference going on to stop the reason why. It's no circumstances to stop the reason why. But yet and still, this is how far people go to make sure they have what they need. This is how far they go for entertainment, or to not do the time by themselves. I mean, because a lot of the times the family, they do the time, but it's different. It's different because a lot of times the family they know them. So they know how they are already. So they don't feel they have to be as clingy or as close to the phone as the person who they, clinging to at the moment. So it's different. But these people have a way with words, and they say almost anything they know you will want to hear. They say, they say almost anything you want to hear. They manipulate you into thinking, life is going to be this way and that way when they get out, and yet it goes another way. And on the outside world, we have to be more careful and more cautious of even getting ourselves involved with those people. Yes, they are people. They deserve love too, but they need to get love when they are in a similar situation to the person that they claim they want to talk to or be in love with. Okay? Yeah. That jail talk will have you thinking you are his everything. You're his wife. You're the best thing ever. Whatever. And you find out you were just somebody, doing charity work. Because that's what I chopped it up to, charity. And the money that I spent, I wrote it off on my taxes. Because it was charity. That's what it was. It was straight up charity. Everything. I wrote everything off. And you know, everything that he told me that he wanted to do with me, guess what? And this is the only thing that made me feel like he didn't care about nothing, was that he decided to be my Facebook friend. But he posted pictures of him doing everything he said he was going to do with me. Guess what? He did it with somebody else. And he posted that, and I don't think he cared. That's when I realized, you know what? He don't have no respect for me. Because if he did, he wouldn't even be my friend. He would have blocked me from it or something. He did not. So be careful thinking that these people think so much of you, or so highly of you. I'm sorry, because they don't give a damn. They don't. And in fact, just like they talk to you, they probably talking to 3, 4, 5 other people. Your $20, her $20, his $20, because you got some of them in there. Yeah. And why we talking about it, let's talk about it. They be straight but be gay, okay? Because they be having boyfriends on the outside world. Yeah, they be on that end too. Pretending that they love the men and all this and that too. The same thing they do to women, they do to men. Yeah, they do the same thing. Same thing. It's the same thing. Same thing. Vice versa. They be gay in there and be straight on the phone. Be straight in there, be gay on the phone. They do it up, okay? They do it up. They do it up. So just be careful. And the best advice I can give on this particular subject at hand is leave them folks alone. Don't even talk to them. You know what I'm saying? If they come in your inbox, if they do anything, just leave them folks where they at. Don't even conversate with them. Don't do nothing. Leave them where they at. Okay? And, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. You know, I just had to get on here and tap in just for a few minutes. Yeah, because I'm getting on here exposing us everyday folk, you know, and our challenges and what we go through, you know, because we working with that shadow on this end. So, yeah, stay tapped in, and happy Friday again. And y'all relax and enjoy this good weather that we about to have this weekend. And once again, shout out to Biloxi and Gulfport. In fact, let me say this. So, they shut Miami down for spring break, right? So this is what we need to do. All melanated folks. I'm calling all melanated folks. This weekend, April 12th, I ain't going to get to go because I have other things going on. But they are having Black Beach down in Biloxi, okay? And this little town brings in over 50,000 people just for this one event. Y'all need to go down there and celebrate, okay? And turn up for y'all spring break. That's where y'all need to go. Go there every year. Cut off Miami. Go to Black Beach. Go to Biloxi. Do it up in Biloxi. Let's support the businesses that our people have. And yeah, let's do it. Let's do something different. Ain't y'all tired of Miami? Anyway, that's that. Y'all have a good Friday, and until next time, peace.